Alright, I wanted to go ahead and do this video. I was playing 588 hertz. Should have did that, and hell, they shit in my hand until they fucking got eviscerated, like with what happened with my, parents last night. I heard it was at the people in Malibu. I'm gonna say something right now, and the Illuminati constantly fucks with me for this. But I can kick myself in the motherfucking ass, and I mean the Windsors and the Rothschilds. I ain't talking about Ingrid Hyper pretended to be after my dad. I know certain things are true. She had a real estate license. I'm not going to say the channel on here, Instagram, because it could fuck with my spiritual protection. And I'm thinking I need to change strategies, but I don't. With this Illuminati, Mount Madness is miserable. All this shit looming over my head. Now done got the best of me. With that being said, there's a lot of things when I was in jail, I should have not entertained that shit when I got out. And they were, they honest and they help. They like the Illuminati. They tell you straight up what's up at times. But they're really honest. They're not told to do that by God. With that being said, I can kick myself in the ass because it was I know if it's a roach attachment of, I heard they eviscerate the roach attachments of roach versions, because I know where I'm at. I ain't got no delusions. I'm not living in a river of Egypt about this shit. I'm not living in denial. I don't know what's going on with Zendaya Coleman in these timelines, but I think, you can go to other timelines and call on the Egyptian gods to deal with that girl who soul swapped me. But she got somewhere she's accepted by them or something. I'm not really.
Hello everyone, it's Donna Briggs, and today's thought of the day is fashion trends that I do not like. First, in no particular order, that is, people wearing tights, sweat clothes, head rags, clothes that
By the Egyptian gods. It's already raining. That's my favorite day too, and that kind of. When I was young, the Mount Bam Windsors and all of my Illuminati, I remember I kept having a dream about Jay-Z and being backstage. This was 1991. I was a kid, 8, 7 years old, and he didn't start becoming popular till 1997. I heard in the Marvel timelines, kind of like similar with Madonna, but she had a very good deal she made with her demiurge, a god, where he feeds off of one parallel universe version of himself in one timeline. But anyways, I was meeting with him and a couple of his entourage backstage with a couple of other kids. It was like maybe 7 or something. And it turns out that correlated to our blessings being stolen by him with my getting the lessest end of the sticks because I had no spiritual power. And they're covering that right now. Where he has, I think they're all office workers, and, I'm stuck in spirit plane, astral plane. Like I say, I ain't got no delusions about what's going on. I'm sick of it. I got cored out last night by this evil ass shit, and I was trying to use a little of my third eye, and I got attacked viciously. I had to play 1.98 hertz. You know, I don't know if it was an extension of Bear Insanity. I hear these motherfuckers. The guy, aside from 8147 hertz, 8127 hertz gets rid of curses, but this is, you know, I tried using 1488 2 hertz, but it kind of fucked up. You know, one of my ancestors, Edith Stein, Jewish grandmother, great great grandmother, on my dad's side, Napoleon Williams, correlates to my higher cells and all of that. You know, so Meghan Markle was controlling the people out there in Malibu in these timelines, you know, as help, and really using it to throw shit off and block shit. But so my mother's so conscious. It's a lot of evil shit, but I know they. Because Ingrid Hybrid, she took my fucking timelines, that was it. You know, people ain't gonna really come at you like that. You know, I know she'll viciously come after you, you know, until you're dead. You know, because I heard in this one I wanted to talk about, a lot of them people in Malibu saw my blessings really. You know, when somebody puts a curse on you, like what Baron Samedi did, he'll enhance the fuck out of your blessings so they're more attractive to fucking energy vampires. You can use 451 hertz, 452 hertz to do something about them people in Malibu, 1488 2 hertz, 1488 hertz. I know that was fucking up the Windsors one time. I almost want to say 110 combined with 113 hertz for the Rothschilds, Jews, but I don't know if that really works. I know that worked for Baron Samedi, but he was cut down to his soul consciousness. So y'all fucked up the original. But you know, 960 hertz is also another very, very good one. But you know, a lot of them people, you know, I even heard, you know, a friend of mine. I couldn't believe it until I saw the timelines. I saw the similar thing with a Native American, very, very good friend of mine's, you know, who I used to see live. Took my timelines and are doing financially well, but I'm going to say something right now. Steer clear 3087. From what I understand, they're going to have y'all, Roach Spirit was showing me the other day, have y'all like fucking video game characters. And that's, you know, they shut them down in this timeline, and in the current timelines using my energy. I don't like that shit. That's why I tried to use my third eye in vain last night to see what the fuck is really going on and take these motherfuckers out, but I couldn't. I was fucked up. My shit's all fucked up. I had it eviscerated by Paris and Zogenins and all of them at the end of the with that being said, I couldn't believe what the fuck. And something significant about 2037 in mind control. They're putting y'all under mind control right now, but it's very, very whatchamacallit. Like, if you think outside the box, I heard the city of LA had, like, documents about them that they were going to bring up showing that they've been killing off, putting people in concentration camps. They're going to use a president by the name of Doug Brzezinski. I heard he might be under MK Ultra. Using my timelines, they connected him to my brother, much like Prince Andrew is connected to a friend. His name I don't want to really mention here, but I mentioned on Facebook and stuff, if you remember. With that being said, they send like a zap to you using my energy, and I'm a truth. I don't like that shit. I heard they got Simon Parks out their body. Prince Charles tried to send me to help out David Icklin. They'll do some fucked up. I can't stand them motherfuckers. But anyways, they'll do fucked up shit to people and then send somebody to try to, like, man, get the fuck away from me. If I help that guy, it's on my own time. To me, the real motherfuckers is like Simon Parks, Two Circles I used to watch here on YouTube. There were a bunch of them. I know one they can't stand is William Cooper. But I couldn't believe it, I remember at the beginning, my road spirits kept, telling me point blank. They were like, don't talk to him. He's not coming to ask for help. He's coming to take your timeline. So don't help him. He ain't really coming to help. The guy's like worth 500 million in that timeline. I saw the timelines the other day where they had somebody. Well, I even saw them when I got the fucking family was in this, but anyways, I was made to forget a lot of what I wanted to say and get off my chest, really. 1.7 million hertz helps with that shit, but laser cut is helping UFOs. Trying to figure out. Trying to swallow me. I don't. It's praying mantis. I mentioned his name. It's a last part. Benedict. I'm trying to, once I was evil last shit, I'm trying to, it seems the most plausible, women out will do that with your fucking consciousness, have it overextended, and then use it to, start having you some white control police department, when you 7,000 police department officers will turn the rope attachment, so use 7,000 to hurt them after before. The guy tries to block that, he is free. his name on YouTube, Facebook, numerous times. So, also I can use that to get put back. If I say something, it will get blocked because it's in them motherfuckers. But anyways, with that being said, I tried, when I saw that guy doing very, very, I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, all of this is, I need to block this. Hertz, 1181 hertz, at the end and beginning all around, just like with the other, to put back somebody back together, road spirits. They eviscerated Baron Samedi, like I saw the other night. He came to me as a roach attachment, begging for help. I don't know if he was on the or one of the spaceships of them people. That's why. Barbara Rose to Canberra. Last time when I was walking around butt naked on the PCH, just when everything just fell straight to hell for me. She had slapped me, and I was like drunk. I was gone. I had motherfucker try to fight me, and they had like, brother who shot him. It was a racist motherfucker. I tried helping him when I saw where he was in the spirit plane. When I ended up in jail, I was like, man, I don't like none of this shit. I don't like having, I don't do sacrifices. I don't, when I did my shit on the PCH, it was self-defense. I was showing the timeline where I was on that peace and faith, white people, new age shit, like a good friend of mine, sister, call him, her name was Diana, Artemis, I forgot, young black lady. She doing like, nah. almost got my shit, and they were trying to kill me for getting my fucking body parts back. You know, right now, phone is like a spirit phone. Anyways, they got me intertwined with her, so I think 8147 hertz might be in order. You know, I got to get some groceries because I have no food in the whatchamacallit. But anyways, going back to the thing with Jay-Z, like with Mary Amschel, the Rothschild, they were tearing my fucking father apart in their consciousness. At one point, he was in Rihanna's. But, you know, he stole my timelines, and that reminds me a lot of what's going on. I wish I didn't drink that night. I heard that night. That's when the girl had separated herself that night. She wasn't possible. Her child self was able to pull her out last night and show me so I could kill this motherfucker. Because all of this shit starts with this, until I get rid of her. But anyways, I remember playing out thing about the Virtual Sevens, reptilian something. It was hex removal. It was reptilian art. My soul consciousness a lot of shit back. I did. But anyways, they had something going back where just like what they do, they removed my roaches and replaced them with my fucking ancestors, just like they say they were in some woodlawn. I think my timeline is trying to alter them recently. They were in woodlawn, New York City, trying to remove me from my fucking timelines. They keep doing that in the last fucking shit. They say that at the start, like I said, Ingrid wouldn't do that shit. She's not a good person, but she can do that. There's no need for her to do that. But anyways, I heard the people in Malibu killed my fucking parents, and the girl killed my parents. But that's some fucked up shit. It's the Illuminati. They're gonna do some trickery with that knowledge that I just birthday. But they're gonna do some trickery with that knowledge. So use 694-695-1181 hertz. Hopefully nothing happens. They're gonna do some trickery with that. That girl who soul swapped me keeps taking her over. I want to mention use 694-695-1181 hertz. Here's this. Saying in that timeline, acting as me, and she keeps trying to become me, and they keep making her into me. She has a child by the name of Darnell Carter, a daughter, who they both homoculuses, half spirit, half physical person. They're not supposed to exist according to Egyptian law, and so I don't know what's going on with the Egyptian gods here, but call the Egyptian gods in another timeline to deal with them. I may just do that, but anyways, they took a lot of my blessings, and you know, I feel like the Illuminati trying to set up some of the motherfuckers are adversarial to begin with. How they shit on me, you know, in timelines where I was white, they protected my ass. That's why I don't really gotta do something about it. With that being said, we gotta, you know, hopefully they don't fuck with Santa Muerte. Something gotta be done about that. You know, I feel like the Illuminati trying to get rid of whatever protection grids I got, so I don't have any, so they can do what they're doing. Like I say, they almost using the cops had me seeing the white light. 7,002 hertz if you're a cop and you get affected by them, especially for the sake of Santa Muerte. And they're trying to come after y'all in these timelines and teleport y'all out of existence, by the way. Because y'all are a threat, because y'all have a different demiurge. Y'all got Quetzalcoatl, I'm supposed to be related to him. They were trying to get to him through me, and they don't want that shit. So y'all,
Mankind has always been fascinated by the thought of traveling in time. Over the centuries, there have been all kinds of ideas about how it could be done. But of course, time travel is impossible. Or is it? This is the story of Håkan Nordqvist, a man who claims to have visited the future.
Jag hade varit och jobbat på Öland. Och kom hem då och gick in i köket.
Nej, vad fan.
Så det var precis en massa vatten på golvet där då. Tänkte, fan. Ja, det är något rör där under diskhon och... Så jag hämtade verktygen då. Och in där och skulle börja dona och grejer och det och man säger. Och nå inte det för det var så långt in i rören där då. Tänkte, fan. Jag fick krypa in där och... Jag bara kom längre och längre in där. Till slut i alla fall så blev det ljust. Jag kunde ställa mig upp på det här. Jaha, och där får jag se mig själv som äldre då, kanske 70 och sånt där.
It would be very easy to dismiss Håkan Nordqvist as a liar if it wasn't for this.
Som tur var då, för jag tänkte det här kommer ingen tro på. Det finns inte en chans att folk kommer tro på det här. Så jag hade ju med mig mobilen så jag kunde filma det. Ja, vi stod där och tjafsade lite. Och... Ja, det var riktigt god känsla var det. Hur gott som helst.
Let's suppose for a moment that Håkan Nordqvist is telling the truth. If so, is there an explanation? We asked Hans Karlsson, professor in theoretical physics.
Det finns en massa teorier om att resa i tiden. En sådan teori är tvillingparadoxen. Det finns teorier kring svarta hål. Det finns teorier kring maskhål. En genväg mellan två platser i universum. Enligt fysikens lagar skulle dessa teoretiskt kunna uppstå. Sannolikheten är visserligen inte särskilt stor, men de teoretiska förutsättningarna finns så att man kan inte avfärda det.
Nej, men jag vet ju bara att jag träffar mig själv i framtiden och att jag... Nej, men att det här är jävligt gött. Sen får ju folk tro vad de vill.
Håkan Nordqvist stands by his claim, and scientists can't completely dismiss his story. Even so, the question remains, is this really possible? As Albert Einstein once said, the most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It's the source of all true science.